one that I did check out.
Yeah.
The Tearmoon Teikoku Monogatari. Let's see what's Tearmoon Teikoku Monogatari Dantodai Kara Hashimaru Hime no Tensei Kyakuten Story. Oh
boy.
Tearmoon Empire. Which I'm pretty sure that all of that
does not translate into that. No way.
But I don't know Japanese, so who am I to say?
Oh.
So this is not exactly an otome story because this is the story of a villainess, but she's not exactly in an otome story. So it's not an isekai, which is fresh. I really loved it.
That is.
It's originally a light novel, but isekais with these villainesses. He's like a good person, like a good girl, like reincarnates into this villain, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do terrible stuff," and they're like, engulfed with guilt, saying like, "Oh no, I'm gonna do this terrible stuff, and I gotta be stopped."
Yeah.
But somehow,
or be good to overwrite that.
As the plot like goes further and further in the story. They're just like really nice people and everyone is falling in love with them. And it's like...
Yeah. Right.
This one though. So, oh boy. This is Princess Mia. She is the princess of the Tearmoon Empire. The manga / like novel, and soon enough, the anime will start with her execution. The old Marie Antoinette way. The guillotine.
Very nice.
So she is 20 years old, I believe, 20 or 20-something years old when this happens. And it's because, the country went to crap. And the prince of another country and also a low noble from that empire just started this insurrection and this hate towards her. And she's like, why does people hate me? I'm just a princess. I had nothing to do with it. And so she gets beheaded, and then she wakes up again as a 14-year-old girl, and she's like, "What just happened?" And so she's like, "I'm alive," and so she has this old diary that has the story of how everything went to crap. Because surprisingly enough, she wrote about it like, oh yeah, this thing happens. I don't care. Ha ha ha. And also when she was about to die, like, oh yeah, this person is like it's the one that like got me in the guillotine, or like, oh, this maid, even though like I was really bad with her, she was loyal to me. And she also has these flashbacks of the future, I guess, when she was in prison, or like how everything came to be. And this is the thing that really stands out, because with all the other villainesses, they're really good people, and they're like they're just doing good.
Yeah.
With her,
Katerina,
she's the same garbage person. She just doesn't want to experience the guillotine again.
Oh man, it's the
because like deep down, what she wants to avoid is the guillotine. So she's really working hard to either like avoid the guillotine or find a way away from the guillotine. And it's really fun because Guillotine-kun appears a lot of times.
Really?
Whenever she's like doing something, he's like, I feel Guillotine-kun like breathing right next to me. And Guillotine-kun like on her imagination is like, hi.
That's so good.
And so yeah, like everyone thinks that she has this change of heart, saying like, oh, this brat that didn't appreciate food, because it's like she's like, oh, I don't like tomatoes, and it was like the chef is like, oh, but this took me like 3 days because the recipe is really hard and really expensive to make, and she's like, really expensive? Exactly how much? This much, and then she has like a flash forward of like when she didn't even get to eat sometimes when she was incarcerated.
Okay.
And she was like, okay, I'll try it. Because she was really picky. And then like, okay, I'll try it. And she was like,
I see.
This is delicious. Thank you. Thank you so much. And the chef is like, did I do something?
Oh, wow.
He's like, wait, she said thank you?
She said thank you to me, but all in
Yeah,
order
and also like with the
to
maids, like
avoid
one of the
the
maids that
kitty.
always like stuck around her.
Ah.
She's like, oh, and she was really clumsy, and he's like,
Mm.
I remember you. Like you are the one who was good with me in the previous life.
Mhm.
I'm gonna make you the head maid, and you're gonna be my personal maid. And everyone is like, but she's an idiot. She's like,
An idiot.
I don't care. She's with me. She's loyal, and
Wow.
sure enough, like she is
Wow.
like head over heels, like not in a Judy way.
Oh, okay, right, all right.
She's head over heels.
Yeah.
Like the maid is head over heels with the princess. Because she's like,
super low.
oh, the princess is such good
gotcha.
nature. And you know, there's some other like politicians that when she was a kid didn't have a lot of power, but they actually helped a lot in, you know, bringing her back to justice. So she was like,
to
no,
justice.
I'll listen to them first. And so
Okay.
she gets close to them, and everyone is like, no, this guy's crazy. Like, he's a nobody. It's like, wait, the princess called them? And it's like, oh, the princess wanted to discuss his ideas? And then, like, she starts being, like, so creative, or that's what everybody thinks, that she's thinking ahead.
Yeah.
But one thing is, like, well, you know, she has kind of like a cheat, saying, like, oh, because I didn't do this happened. So she's starting to do, you know, a lot of things opposite.
Yeah.
Like she meets the
Everything
prince
different.
that and the low noble that will be like their main nemesis. And the reason why they were their main nemesis in the previous life was because she was a brat.
Ooh, yeah,
And because she was a beep. But now in here she's trying to, you know, avoid them at all costs. And she's being nice, and everyone is like, oh, the princess of the Tearmoon Empire, she's such a lamb, she's such a good person. And these persons are also like,
wow,
kind of like enamored with her, because they're like, oh, she's really good, I really like her, I want to spend more time with her. And she's like,
oh, right. Because
So-
she doesn't want to be at risk
Yeah.
of having even the threat of guillotine.
So yeah, it's a really fun story.
Goodness.
I really liked it because it's like,
Yeah.
she's the same garbage person. Like the only thing is like that thing
motivation.
hurts like hell. So I don't want to go with it again.
Right.
So yeah, that
So
was the funny
funny.
part.
That's really funny, man. Wow.